Good afternoon, friends. This is Claudine here at Rascal and Crow Farm. We're doing a segment today on tracking your garlic. Now, what is tracking? Why do we need to track our garlic? So, here we are showing you a greenhouse. This is a greenhouse, okay? So, with the greenhouses you can have, not always, but you can have a year where it is cold, and the greenhouses tend to be drier on the inside. So the top soil in the greenhouses, once you've planted your garlic over winter, when it comes to springtime, you may come to find that you will have some of your garlic that poke through, right? So you can see the ones here at the end of this side of the greenhouse. They look really great. We're looking at 8 to 10 inches tall at the very tallest ones. And some are a little bit smaller, as you can see right there, about 6 inches. Okay, and then you have on this side, you can see that there are bare patches. Right, so we got some bare patches here. And these bare patches, not to worry, you do have garlic in them. The only issue is that overwintering, because the greenhouse is drier, that topsoil tends to crust over or harden. So sometimes when it comes to this time of year, which is at the end of March over here on Vancouver Island, it is rather mild but still cool, quite cool. At least it is this year. Most years it's quite much warmer than it has been for the past couple of years. So in this greenhouse I had obviously crusting. So I went through the whole soil of the greenhouse and I, of course, lightly raked it around the garlic, or where I knew that the garlic was going to be. So I fluffed up the soil and broken up that crust, that hard pan crust, and we have now see the patches that haven't pulled through yet. So we want to make sure that this garlic that has not come through catches up to the other garlic. Now, we also keep in mind that garlic types do grow at different rates, speeds, as it were, and of course, there's no exception in this one because I do have a few different varieties in here as well. So, or types, I should say. So you're talking like rocamboles, your purple stripes, your porcelains, your creoles, your turbans, you know. So you've got all those different types that grow at different speeds. And then even your varieties in the same type grow slower, just depending on the type. Okay, so what do we mean by tracking? What do we have to do? So when we see these patches that the garlic has not come through yet, you want to go through all your rows, as it were. Over here, I'm just going to show you. Here's a perfect example. If we get close enough, you see that some of these are poking through, right? You see this beautiful. It's poking through at a slower rate, obviously, right? And then we have this side here, this little bit here, that hasn't poked through. So what we do is we have to track for them. We got to go through and find them and track them down, as it were, and dig through to find the little nubbies. You see the little nubbies there? Yeah, that's what you want to do, is you want to go find those nubbies. Now, I've dug these through already, so they're exposed for you to be able to see. But so I've got like a little well. So I've gone down a couple of inches, or maybe, yeah, I would say a couple of inches from the top. And I found the little nubbies. Now, this is just, you want to dig through and just expose that nub. Just expose it. Okay, and that's going to, you can see I've done it to the other ones up further. And so what this does now is that it helps these little guys come through. So these are all going to grow nice and they're going to grow much faster. And it's helped them through now. So this is what you've done by tracking. You're going and you're going to go help this garlic push through and continue growing at a quicker rate of speed to try to catch up to these guys. And they will. They all, not to worry when you see this, but you want to help them through. Of course, sometimes you will lose some garlic. It always happens. There's a weaker little clove, but not to worry. That's just normal. But I've dug through and I've got almost all of them through. So everything is great in this little greenhouse. And so that's pretty well all it means to track your garlic. You want to help it along, help it through at this time, because you don't want it to slow down the rate. You want them to come up nicely, and I'll be watering this again although this particular greenhouse right now does not have a top, a ceiling to it. So it is exposed to the elements, and it is quite damp, so it's perfect, this one. I have another greenhouse there that needs to be watered because it does have a ceiling. So I hope this segment helped you through on what to do. If you're worried that you see your garlic coming through on some parts but not on others, that's usually because it's crusted, the soil has been crusted. And so you need to break that down a little with a rake and help them through, dig them through. And then eventually when they're nice and about, quite through the soil, about 4 or 5 inches, then you can gather that dirt that you've welled around each little individual sprout and put that back where it was so that the root is nice and covered again. Alright, so this is pretty well through. So in another week this should be pretty advanced in the growth of these exposed little nubs. And I'll show you what that looks like in about a week. Thank you for joining us. I hope that this helped you on tracking your garlic. Bye for now.